This video is part of our study about similarities and differences in Latin America with a special focus in Cleantech, Healthtech, and education. What we do in Rubica, we promote brands that add value to the world. And how we do it, we use business intelligence to discover opportunities and insights for our clients. Hopefully you will find lots of them in the following videos. And with that information, we help our clients adjusting their products and services and co-create digital strategies that will then allow us to experiment in an agile way using all the diversity in digital media. And at the end, our clients will end up increasing their sales and positioning in the region. Talking about digital media, I want us to check a little bit about the current state of general online access. So you will have here, for sake of comparison, the case of the Netherlands. And then you have here also the main indicators about online access. I will focus specifically in a few of them. So let's see, for example, the internet penetration. As you see, the lowest internet penetration, it's in Guatemala from the countries that we studied. But then you have countries like Chile with 90%, Argentina with 87%, or Ecuador with 81%. So we have actually a very good internet penetration. And as you might recall from previous videos, because most people live in urban areas, then urban areas are actually very well connected. So the only difference is with the very distant rural areas, but then because that is a very small portion of the population, then you can generally say that there is a very high internet penetration. Now, take a look at this. We have a very high also social media penetration. It goes, say, from 84% from Chileans and 75% Ecuadorians, 79% of Argentinians, comparing to the 88% in the Netherlands. Another piece of data that I want to highlight is the time spent on the internet, which is higher than the world average, and is also higher than when you see here the European country that we were comparing with. We have here 9 hours or 8 hours, or also 9 hours spent on the internet. So we are a community, we are societies that are very much connected and also spending a lot of time in the internet. And also in social media, as you can see there in the last column. Let's talk about now, what is it that we are doing online? So what you're seeing over here is basically the most searched categories. And we try to identify here, for example, the news, because as you see here, the most followed accounts in each of the countries, for the 8 of them, you see news repeating. So you have here a list of the local news that will have the most followers. This is important for business because, of course, you would need then to make some sort of alliances or be sure that you know who these media outlets are to have a wider presence and have good awareness. But then the other thing worth mentioning is that humor also repeats in 5 of the 8 countries. So that is also something that we look a lot for. And then you might remember also from the previous presentations about indulgence and how we just want to have a good time. So this is also representative about, or from here, from what we followed online. Then a couple of cases that I want to highlight here as well is the case for Colombia and Argentina. So these are the top apps after the most traditional apps, so all the meta apps and the mobility apps. And these 3 apps for Colombia, these 3 apps from Argentina are all related to e-commerce. So these are 2 countries that are already very much used to buying online and using these apps for commerce. Then another thing probably worth mentioning is that translation is in 6 out of the 8 countries, one of the top queries. So as I mentioned previously, we don't generally speak another language, so we need these a lot. And probably just for closing up this, you see here in the music genre, it is the time of reggaeton. You see that it's repeated in the 8 of the countries. There are some countries where some specific rhythms from the countries are also looked, but definitely it is a product from the region, and it is a product that it's still booming in the region.